Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be looking today at Opendoor stock again. The question today that we're going to be asking is this a potential recovery point for Opendoor stock? And going forwards from that, is this a point where we are potentially about to see big things coming? And are we going to see new highs coming in for Opendoor stock? We'll be looking at the facts, I'll be giving you my personal opinions, and we'll be looking at what some analysts also believe. If it sounds like a good video, please do make sure to leave a like on it, and please do make sure to subscribe, it would help me out a lot. Do remember though, I am not a financial advisor, and this is certainly not financial advice. So you guys will remember, we have seen Opendoor stock in the last couple of days really beginning to consolidate a little bit, and this is absolutely perfect. Sure, we did see this really quite major turn down. However, then we bounced right off of the $4 range, absolutely perfect, and so far it looks like we are consolidating slightly upwards. This is very good. Now, if you watch a video that I made just yesterday, I said that I was very happy with what happened on Friday. I think we are now seeing the trend perfectly lining up, because if you think about it, right, we're now seeing this momentum to the downside slow down. We're bouncing off of a key level at $4. We're actually maintaining above it. And now we are seeing this consolidation point again, really from 413 all the way at the moment up to about 445, which is brilliant. Now, of course, going forwards into the next week, most crucial level to break out above, if possible, is going to be at 489, a level that we've struggled at many a time before. You could call it 490 or even 495, especially into the $5 range. You're seeing this difficulty here, here as well, and also here. So a break into $5 would be absolutely amazing and very important to watch out for. On top of that, we have other levels to watch out for again on the downside. At the very lowest, we're looking at $4. That would be a perfect bounce point if we are to make it that low. But I'm really impressed here, and I think what we're seeing on the charts, in my opinion, again, not advice, just my opinion, is now the fact that this stock does still have a lot of potential. It does still have a lot of turnaround possibility if things do move in the right direction. Now, with that being said, the question is, can we hit even higher prices? Now, we have some people believing that Opendoor stock could go really high, potentially hitting as high as $82. Let's have a look at what has been said. Opendoor has been a sharp uptrend the past month. However, the question is, what happens next? Well, there's a lot of optimism related to the market, and an expert called Eric Jackson's recent remarks, Eric Jackson's recent remarks, if I can speak, right, that open shares could eventually hit $82, imply a nearly 1500% upside from the current price. Now, Jackson has likened this to the early stages of Carvana, adding that it looks right on the cusp of a legitimate turnaround. But the Opendoor stock potential of hitting $82 would require the firm to deliver extraordinary financial performance far beyond its current trajectory. With a current market cap of just $3.8 billion and persistent losses, the maths behind the bullish call raises serious questions. So what would need to happen for this $82 valuation? Opendoor Technologies must balloon its market cap to nearly $60 billion for its stock price to hit $82, assuming its current share price and count remains the same. The valuation would mean more than a 15 times increase versus the present valuation over the next few years. To support that market cap, the Nasdaq-listed firm will need to generate multi-billion dollars in free cash flow, sustain double-digit profit margins, and grow annual revenue well beyond the current run rate of $6.4 billion. Now, according to Eric Jackson, Opendoor could touch $1.4 billion in free cash flow by 2026, but that would require a margin of over 20%, which is unheard of in iBuying, a market where margins are notoriously thin and volatility is often high. In the latest reported quarter, the company's gross profit margin was just 8.2%, and its net loss stood at $29 million, casting doubt on OpenShares' ability to even hit 82. But is it possible, right? Is that even a possibility? Well, again, some analysts do believe so, or one analyst at least believes so. So that is an interesting take to demonstrate. It's an interesting take to look at. Now, 82 would represent a significant jump from where we are, and I think the likelihood of that happening anytime soon, in my personal opinion, is very slim. But what we could be looking for is a relatively decent turnaround even from where we are. Do bear in mind that we went up just 18 cents on Friday, and that was 4.22%. Shows you kind of the scale of what we're looking at here. Bearing that in mind, a jump up to $5, a jump up to maybe $6 or $7, that would still represent a very large monumental gain in the opinions of a lot of people, including myself. So looking from that perspective, I think there's every possibility that if we see this momentum continue into the next week, we could be on a great footing for a turnaround on Opendoor stock. Again, we're still in a risky territory in the sense that we're going to need to test and see if we can break out really above 495. That is going to matter a lot. But if we're able to do that, we could be at a point where we're looking at a stock which is very much on the brink of breaking out of that level and going on to test previous highs, again in the $6 range, in the high $5 range. Time will tell. Very interesting opportunity to be looking at here. Again, some could argue that this could be the start of a next loading phase where things start to run up even higher. But I'll leave that for you to decide in the comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I hope I'll see you again soon in another episode. Thank you. Goodbye.